So here we are. This is our model Juliana, and Juliana have really a beautiful skin. This is our model for our daytime bridal makeup. So let's examine Juliana's features and if there is any pigmentation problem. I can see in here a little tiny acne scarring, so we need to neutralize that. She really doesn't have any dark circle, but I can see like a blue vein right in here, so we need to neutralize that as well. And I'm going to just brighten certain area to eliminate any shadowing, so we don't have a lot of correction to do. With my flat brush, I'm going to start, and I'm using green wherever there is blue, because this is the area that I need to neutralize, and green will neutralize a little bit of that blue. So let's do both sides at the same time. And you don't need a lot. Always stipple, 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 so that you get the full coverage you need. Juliana's face is already prepped, which means it's exfoliated. We have the serum, the mask, everything is done to it. Perfect. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to stipple as well a little bit on that one dot, and I might later come back with a little bit of concealer at the end to make sure we cannot see it at all. So wherever I see any acne, anything, we'll have to make sure that everything is perfect. I do the same with the back and with the décolleté. For the shadowing, remember I said I'm going to use a lavender color, so I'm going to come back wherever I see a little bit of shadowing and apply the lavender. This will brighten the area, and just dab, dab, dab. Blend it very lightly, just so that you don't have any edges showing. Don't need to spend too much time doing this. As well as I'm going to brighten under her eyes with the lavender. This is going to work as my highlighter. So dab, 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 and make sure you leave it like that. Don't overblend. If you overblend, you're going to shear it too much, and it's not going to give you the same effect. So now that I have my color correct already set up, I pre-mixed her foundation, so I know exactly the color that we're going to use. Time now to underpaint. Underpainting is actually starting first with contour and then moving into the foundation. I'm taking a little bit of my contouring product, and we start looking, do we need to contour her forehead? She really doesn't have a big forehead, so I'm going to leave it alone. Remember, this is a daytime makeup, which means there is so much light, sun, the lights of the videos, the lights of the flash. You can see every single detail. So I will come back later and lightly contour the forehead with a little bit of powder, but not the cream. The cheekbone, everybody likes nice cheekbones, so I'm going to come back. Remember, this is the bone. Go down and see where the teeth are. This is where we put the contour, and you angle it coming out from her ear. So I'm going to put very little, and you stop where the bone stops. So one more dot, here it is. So now we do the other side. You work parallel so that you have the same place parallel and exactly symmetrical. So we're going to come back, put our dot. Again, it stops in here, and here we go. Now we're going to look at the jawline. She pretty much have an oval face shape, which is the ideal, what we usually go for. But I'm going to enhance it a little bit. So I'm going to just go very lightly on the jawline. And that will give me that perfect oval shape. So I just put the product and forget about it for now. Now moving into her features. Looking at her nose, we have a little tiny bump in here, so I'm going to come and just dab, dab, dab just on that little bump. And I'm going to actually line up the tip of her nose to make it more flowy look with the design I'm going for. There we go. Her nose is not wide, so I don't need to go there. If I want to continue all the way up, this area is narrower than the front, so it will make it very, very narrow, so I'm avoiding it. To give her more of that pouty look, I'm going to just put a little bit of a shadowing right in here under her lower lip, and that will give me that fake, more pouty look for the face without making it too obvious. So now time to apply the foundation. So if you notice, I did not blend, I just applied the product. I'm going to blend everything when I apply the foundation, and what it will create is shadow and light, but it's going to be super, super natural. So again, with our dense rounded brush, we're going to apply our foundation, which I already pre-mixed. So saturate your brush and put it everywhere, over the contour, everywhere. It look weird. Trust me, the result will look very natural and it will look very beautiful without looking like she was over-made. And those people that are going to get so close to her in daylight time are not going to see all those little details. So if I put the contour on top of the foundation, you still can see it, versus this way it only creates a gradient for my foundation. Now that I apply it, time to start doing our little blending, circular movement. When you get over the contour, just stay there for a couple of seconds. Once you see it blurry, just keep moving. Here we go. It goes very quickly. The foundation color is perfect. Make sure you go around the nostrils. And you can still see the glow. So I mixed my Farsali Rose Hip Oil with the gold dust into my foundation. So I can have not a dewy look, but I want just a healthy like shine to the skin. It looked nicely moisturized this way. Always remember that the night before, your bride had rehearsal dinner. She probably had a couple of glass of wine, and that always dehydrates the skin. They usually don't sleep very well, and that will create a little bit of that tired look. So the reason I used that lavender, because lavender is like putting a spotlight in certain area on the face. So if she did not sleep well, I still can have a nice glow to the skin. Makeup is all optical illusion, but it's also mastering the use of your color theory. So play, play, play. Juliana is actually one of my students, and it happened that today it's her graduation day. So if you want to see her work, you can go and find her online. So now that I have the foundation on, time to apply our concealer. Remember, I like to use my white flat brush just because for me, I like to blend the concealer very well. So I'm using beige. It's a light beige color from Clé de Peau. And I'm going to start where I applied that green color. Just put it in that inner corner and outer corner. No need to apply it everywhere. Again, on top of that green area. And outer. So very, very little use. Don't put too much product. Then you'll end up having to blend to sheer it out, and it will look way too strong. So focusing on this area in here, bring it into the foundation. Whatever is left, bring it under the lash line and then focus on that outer corner, bring it out to the temple. Here we go. Now let's do this side. Again, with little dabbing, I'm blending it. I don't move it too much because I need the coverage right there. Bring it down into the cheek, down under her lashes, whatever there is left on your brush. No need to keep dipping. The more thick and the more layers you have under the eyes, it's going to crease on you. And we want everything to be super flawless. So the less product you use, the better it is, and just use it where it's needed. Bring it down into this side of the nose, just so that it blends nicely with the foundation. Here we go. Skin is done. Before I set everything, I'm making sure everything is nicely blended. And remember how I like to buff? Time to buff that foundation a little bit so that it brings some of that sheen back into the skin. Just lightly, don't put pressure on your brush because it will lift the product down. Before I set with powder, I'm gonna actually spray set it. Daylight means sun, that means she's going to sweat, so I want to set the foundation a little bit before I apply any powder. Close your eyes, and 1 or 2 mists, that's enough to set it. While this is actually drying up, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my loose powder.